Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is Saturday, and y'all know what today is. It is time for True Serum. I would like to thank you all. My name is Yasmin Denise, and today I have a panel for you guys that is awesome. Today's topic is My Sister's Keeper. The reason why, how I came up with this, with the climate and with everything is going on, I just feel like as women, we need more unity. And sometimes we believe that we are the only ones going through whatever we are going through. So I have a panel of young women, different ages on tonight, and we're going to discuss some of our experience in life that we have had and are having at this present time as women. So, and we also at the end, we are doing a moment of peace for Breonna Taylor, and we have none other than singer, songwriter slash musician Dawn Lisa in the building. So I would like for all of you guys to like and share. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a couple of moments so y'all can get and like and share that. Thank you so much. Alrighty, make sure y'all like and share the video. Give you a couple of, we need as many women as possible on here tonight, because that's what we're doing tonight. It's called My Sister's Keeper. Again, I say that. And my reason for doing this is because I know what it is. Sometimes when you have an assignment or you have things that you're doing, you are required to be alone. And sometimes when we are alone, we feel like no one is going through this. We feel like, the relationship we in, especially since we have been in this pandemic, a lot of anxiety has came up, insecurities has came up, old past, new past, present past, you know what I'm saying? Present pain, not past, I'm sorry. Past pain, future pain, and present pain has, came upon us during this pandemic. We also have noticed some of us have anxiety. We noticed some insecurities that we didn't know that we had before because of other people. So I just want to discuss some things with us as women today, especially since October. This is my show leading up into October. So I'm going to tell you about that. Why you guys go and like and share this video. I'm going to tell you about some things that's going on in October. In October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's Domestic Violence Month. So my first show in October is going to be a breast cancer awareness show. I have a couple of different women who have survived breast cancer, one that's going through it right now. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing the giveaway as well that day. You know what I'm saying? As well as trying to help donate to whatever organization you want to donate to help the women that's fighting breast cancer, and not just breast cancer, other types of cancers as well. And then we have domestic violence that line up. We're going to speak to women and men that have been in domestic violence situations, how they got out, how they made it over, how they overcame, and things of that nature. Then we're going to have a fitness, the third week in October is going to be a fitness show. Because as women, once we start to get older, our bodies change, and men, and we have to keep up, especially in the time that we living in where there's lots of viruses and things of that nature. So I'm gonna have a personal trainer up here, not just a personal trainer. We're gonna have a food guru up here who can tell us how to eat right, build our immune system. What should we be eating at this time? So let me go and look at my phone. So just in case, I can like and share as well. I'm not going to tell you guys to do anything that I don't do. But while you're waiting for me to do that, if you haven't went and caught that book, The Day I Woke Up, written by none other than the author Yasmin Denise, make sure you go to www.procureyournationent.com and cop that book. And if you would like to donate to this platform, it's $ Yasmin Campbell. That's my Cash App handle. That's $ YASMINCAMPBELL. So while we're waiting for people to chime in, we're not really going to wait, because I know how this goes usually. People come in when they want to come in, and we do what we do. So first we're going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce our panel. Let's see who's going first. First, I would like for Dawn Lisa, can you unmute yourself if you're muted, and introduce yourself to the people?
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Dawn Lisa. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. Woo woo, all the Brooklynites.
Yeah.
I currently live in Dallas, Texas. I've been here for about 7 years, and I am a mother of one who is 17. And so yeah, so I'm lucky and excited to be here. Thanks, Yas, for even thinking of me. Happy to be here.
Okay, thank you so much, Dawn. And then next we have none other than Regina. Come on, Regina, and introduce yourself.
Hey, you guys. Of course, my name is Regina Crockett. I'm the host of Surviving Off Broken Pieces. I'm also CEO of Caregiving on Wheels, transportation slash sitter company. I am a mother of four. I have 12 grandkids. And Yasmin, I thank you so very much for inviting me here on the panel. Um, so let's do this thing so we can help some people.
All right, now I hear you. I hear you. Okay, guys. So, usually the way we do this thing on True Serum is you guys send in your questions and we answer your questions and we give you our views, our take on it. But today I want to sit down and have just a conversation, if that's okay with you guys. You guys are more than welcome to comment in the comment section. You guys are more than welcome to send questions if you want for us to answer, in regards to whatever topic we are talking about. We welcome your questions. We welcome your comments. Please don't be disrespectful, though. Don't come for me, okay? Oh, so I want to start this off by asking you guys, when you hear the word woman, what do you think of? For me, I can tell you how I feel. That word in itself, I think of compassion. I think of backbone. I think of love. I think of caregiver. On the flip side, I think of pain. I think of insecurities. I think of weightiness. I think of um mm, I think of being a parent, and things of that nature. There's a lot of things that come with being a woman. I think of the emotional state, of us and how we can be. So go ahead, let's have this conversation. What do you guys think when you hear the word woman?
Me personally, I think of, like you said, an emotional I'll say creature, emotional creature, a person that's loving and kind, and love to show love and love to get love. And some of us, some even with woman, the word woman, I think of heartache, pain. I think of not easy letting go. I think of holding grudges, uh, heaviness of the heart. I think of stuff like that.
Okay. Dawn?
I would agree. I would agree. I agree with both of you guys. You had some really, really great points. For me, I think of all of those things and compassion. I think of long suffering. I think of openness, caring. I think of sometimes competition, because I think a lot of times we do that. And we're doing things for other women and not necessarily our better halves or and things like that. But
Yes.
but yeah, so I think of all of those things in conjunction with that.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Competition. Competition is a big thing amongst women, and that's another reason why I'm so happy we're doing this today, because not only do I want to let other females, women, ladies, whatever you want to be called, know that there's someone out here going through the same thing you're going through. And you're not the only one. You're not the first. You're not going to be the last. And there's always someone who can help you and guide you through the process that you're going through, whether you know them or not. You can always reach out to another female. But at the end of the day, competition. That was one of the questions. I said I wasn't going to do no questions, but that was a big question. Like, why do we as Black women, and I don't want to say Black women and label us that we're the only ones in competition. So, but the question was, why do we as Black women be in competition to the point where we can't trust each other, assist each other, and help each other? I think that's a woman thing, period. Because I believe that we're kind of possessive, you understand? And the fact that we're so nurturing and curing and easily to be broken.
Mhm.
and that's the truth. We're easily to be broken, you know, we're easily to anger if we feel like someone, and I'm not saying men don't go through this too, but because we are emotional, what you say, Regina, creatures, we take it in a whole different way. Someone that can be just trying to assist us, we look at it as competition, and they want what we have. No, I'm not saying that that's not the case all the time, because sometimes there is someone in competition with you, and there is someone, you know, that want what you have, but there's ways around that. You understand? We don't have to be in competition. We can complement each other. You understand? So give me your take on that. Why don't y'all give me your take on it? Because that's a really big thing, especially with someone like me who's really a few female friends because of that situation. Now, I don't think everyone competes against me, but you know, when you do certain things, people look at it as if, because I do music or whatever, and at one time I was very active in performing, touring, and doing a whole bunch of stuff. People who were close to me, they couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? So then with competition became jealousy. With jealousy became them being angry at me, not liking me, being disloyal, or whatever the case might be. No, everybody wasn't in competition with me, but as a female, I need this to see. This is where I need y'all help. As a female who don't trust because of that situation and don't have many, you know, female friends. What is y'all take on that?
I don't know if you want to go first, Regina.
Well, okay, I will. Well, with me, like I said, jealousy is a very, very strong stronghold with the women. You know, it's something that keeps us separated. And then you gotta understand there's a lot of insecurity according to where we was raised. See, kids are born in this world pure and innocent, and what we pick up and what we adopt is according to our surroundings. So if we are surrounded by an insecure mother, or a mother that's always angry, or a jealous person, then we're going to pick up some of those habits, and we don't it's not intentionally put on them, but you know what I'm saying, it's instilled in you because you pick up what you see, what you know. And with me, I my circle is so small, and it's because of the fact of jealousy, and not, you know, because at first I would take people for who they are, you know, and even doing that, jealousy creeps up so heavy and so quickly on you, and pride, you know,
Yeah,
pride comes, and I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of being so prideful that I didn't even want another woman around me, and I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do and say whatever I wanted to say. And I didn't deal with females like that, because I felt like hanging with them and dealing with them came a bunch of foolishness and fussing
yeah,
and arguing and bickering. And at that point in time in my life, I couldn't handle that, because
yeah.
if you came for me, if you called for me, I came. If you
That's
are like
it.
you were looking for me, I came. And it had to take a lot of growing up. It took a lot of growing up, but all that came from insecurity and family, past things that went on in my family and childhood, my lineage. So it's a lot of different things that we are attacked on as a young child, that attach itself to us.
I
And
agree. I agree. I
so,
agree. I really agree, because you know, we have similar backgrounds, you know what I mean? So I agree, because, you know, I want to say this in the right way. So go ahead, Don, because I need to think about how I'm gonna say it. I
No,
don't want
you're
to offend nobody, okay?
don't offend nobody. Don't get on
Yeah, I don't
nobody.
want to offend nobody. I don't want to offend nobody. But before Dawn go and say that, let me just say a brief hi to everybody. Make sure again y'all like and share. Hey Talia, hey Jamila, hey Prophet Erica. Hey, Brittany Hill. Hey, Brittany. Look at your baby up here. Hey, Steph. That's my rider, y'all. Hey, Eartha. Hey, Barbara Riddick. Hey, how are you all? Hey, Miss Taylor. How are you? Can y'all like and share the video? Now, Dawn, give us your take. And then after Dawn give us her take, we're going to talk about some of our experiences, because we're going to hit this first topic, which is relationships. You know, whether it's married, single, whatever the case might be, our wrongs and rights, past and present, sleeping with other people, men, married, sleeping with
Uh-oh.
married men. Yeah, that.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
This
Not
is
my
true.
time to go on ahead and put my church finger.
So we gotta, let's just keep it 100 because you never know who's watching, who's seeing this, who's in that type of, I don't want to say that word, entanglement, but who's in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Who's either trying to get out or don't even know how they got in there from the beginning, or they might just be happy, and or not that they happy, but a lot of people are afraid of commitment, so they attach themselves to somebody who's already committed. So go ahead and answer that question in regards to the competition, and then we're gonna jump into that.
All right, so for me, I 100% agree with Regina on that. I think sometimes it's what we're seeing, and sometimes it's what we're not seeing too, right? So like if we're in a household and we never see our mom, in a certain light, for instance, I can give an example. Maybe we've seen our parents get abused and mistreated by their their husband or their boyfriend or whoever, and they cheated on them or whatever, and you're always seeing maybe different women that didn't look like your mom, or wasn't your mom. It just wasn't your mom, and so it puts you in that light of like, wow, what's going on? And on top of that, maybe mom is expressing some jealousy, in a sense of frustration with her husband or her boyfriend. And so you kind of mimic what you've seen, as Regina said. And then other things that can influence that is school. So maybe in your household is picture perfect, and mom and dad is on it. Like they show each other love in front of you. You never see your dad looking at other women when you're by yourself with your dad, because that's another piece too, right? The dad. It's not just women and us wanting to just have competition. It's triggers, right? So one thing can trigger it is when you're hanging out with your dad. Now all of a sudden you see a different side of him, how he's responding to women on the street who may have a certain type of body or a certain look or a certain makeup look or a certain whatever, or a hair color or a hair type, right? And things like that, that may quote unquote seem more appealing, and because that's what you see the attention going derived towards that. And so I think that those are major driving forces to why people or women, we can get into that competition, because now we want to know, okay, well, what are most men looking at? They're mostly looking at this type of woman and that type of thing, or that woman gets that kind of attention. So I want to be that woman. I want to now change my hair and make it whatever. I now want to wear a certain type of makeup. I want to dress a certain type of way to get that type of attention. And if you're not the only one getting that attention, then now you feel like something's wrong with you, which is a whole nother topic. But
That's good, because we gonna reach there too. That's part of being insecure. That's part of the insecurities. I mean, we can go there before we get to relationships. I know y'all would rather go there than relationships first. So being insecure can lead you into the wrong relationship. So while we on there, insecure, what I want any female listening to take from this is the baddest chick is insecure and has insecurities. So don't be so hard on yourself because you have insecurities. Embrace your insecurities. And I say that because what you're insecure and what you can embrace, your insecurities, really our insecurities is because we're different from someone else. Like Dawn was saying and Regina was saying, you see this makeup of what society or what people say you're supposed to look like. And because you don't look that way, you're insecure about yourself. Also, insecurities could come from being hurt, but we ain't there yet. We're talking about this part, and being insecure. I say embrace your insecurities. I have insecurities, and I remember story time, I guess. I remember growing up, having friends or whatever the case might be. And a lot of people, and this is not the bag of bros because I'm not all of that. I was a tomboy for a long time. Okay. So I was like 22 years old. You feel me? I was a tomboy for a long time. And part of my reason for it was because I was different. I always knew I was different. I didn't understand who I was at that time, but I knew I was different. And I wasn't, heavy set or anything. I had a nice petite body with a big bottom. You understand what I'm saying? But to me, I felt uneven. I wasn't proportioned right. You know what I'm saying? And then with the trauma as a young girl, it made me feel like I was covering myself. It made me feel safe. But in making myself feel safe, I brought insecurities on because I felt like guys wanted the girls with the big butts, tight clothes, this and this and this and that. But when it reversed, and they were hollering at me, even though I looked just like one of them. I mean, I had on the baggy clothes, the Timbs, just like they did. But I did music, of course. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of shows, and I was always hanging with guys. My friends was guy. My best friend is a guy, you know, and things of that nature. It was like they were drawn. Me not knowing the anointing that was on my life, me not knowing the gifts that was installed in me, they was attracted to, which caused people to be jealous, which it inflamed my insecurity. That's crazy, right? It inflamed my insecurity to the point where I used to cry because I used to be like, why are they jealous of me? You understand? This is how I look. I look just like a boy, or I dress just like a boy. Now, I didn't look like a boy, but I dress just like a boy. I don't move the way they move. I don't act the way they act. You know what I'm saying? They was putting out at that time. I wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? So they getting why are they mad at me? And and see, that's the thing. Insecurity can do both ways. You could be insecure about yourself, but when other people, you know, were jealous, hating, or whatever, because people wanted to be around me because of the type of person I am. People confided in me since I was young, when I didn't even know how to keep a secret. People was you feel what I'm saying? Was confiding in me. People always wanted to be around me. It made me more insecure because I couldn't put my finger on why. What's going on? Why are they mad at me? I don't look like them. You know, I was born blind, so one of my eyes, you know, I got the weak muscle that used to, and I used to be like, you know, like, what is it? And my insecurity, it did something to where it made me close myself in more. And it seemed it was playing tricks on me because it was like the more boyish I got, the more they wanted me. And I didn't understand that. So I say this to anybody who has insecurities, whether it's because your hair is kinky or your hair is too curly, your hair is too straight, or you think you're too dark, or you think you're too light, or you have acne, or your boobs too big, or your boobs not big enough. You feel what I'm saying? Or whatever the case might be, if you embrace your insecurities, it will teach you how to love yourself from the inside out. It'll teach you how to love all of you, not just a part of you. And that can help you with getting over the insecurities. And don't think that you're the only one that's insecure. I used to say it all the time. The light-skinned chicks with the long hair that everybody getting mad at, they the most insecure ones. You know what I'm saying? So hey, Nita. So, you know, I just say that if you're insecure, embrace your insecurities. That's all I'm saying. Embrace them, conquer them, because your insecurities is like your fears. You feel what I'm saying? And so just embrace them and love them. Go ahead on, Regina.
One thing, Yasmin, also, um, you gotta understand everything that looks good on the outside ain't good on the inside. And I can remember even when people would want to be around me and hang around me, and like you say, I'm like, why you want to get close to me? So automatically, in my mind, it was a motive. And I'm like, I said to myself one time, I can remember saying, they want to be around me, they want to be like me, they want to mock me, they want to dress like me, they want to hair like me. And I'm saying, but do they even know what's going on inside of me?
And the inside, that.
They like what they see on the outside, but do they know what all the hell is going on in the inside? Because it's inside pain that's not, you can't see. The inside pain can't be seen. So you got to be careful. I mean, I just figured, I thought to throw this out here. You got to be careful who you envy of, or who you compare yourself to. Because sometimes what you compare yourself to is broken, is more broken than what you are.
That's it.
Insecurity is so much more than what you have, but you so focus on the outside. So you got to be, like you said, embrace who you are, love who, and love you, and love everything about you,
Yeah.
and focus on you, and stop being so much in competition of others, because that will do something to you mentally. So be careful what you looking at and what you compare yourself to, because some of that stuff is masked.
Yeah. So, Regina, if you don't mind me asking you guys, guess what? Dawn will be right back. She lost a connection. We've been having connection issues all day. The devil is a liar. We will get this out. Our job is to help other women. We are my sister's keeper. So, any sisters out there, I don't care what color you are, for real, whatever you're going through, we're putting our stories out here so you can see you're not the only one. And then broken pieces, surviving on broken pieces, which is Regina's. You can always contact one of us. You understand what I'm saying? You can contact her if you're dealing with some of the same things that she's dealing with. So in saying that, Regina, can you come back on, unmute yourself, and tell them some of the type of insecurities? Because people might not have had the insecurities that I had, living with the fact that you're 130 pounds, but you got a big old butt and you feel unproportioned. You feel what I'm saying? The fact that you were touched as a kid, so you feel like everybody's gonna violate you, so you want to be as closed as possible. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't have those type of insecurities. So can you go ahead and tell some of the insecurities and how you got over those insecurities?
Yeah, even with the, like you said, being touched as a child, I can even remember that happening to me. And at that point in time, that's within that, and then the fact of my dad, leaving and wasn't doing what I thought he should have done. It caused me to have a insecure about men. So it began to cause me to really hate them and don't trust them, and put in my mind how to use them. It actually caused me to form a plan on how to never let them get over on me, never let them do what they did, what I seen done to my mom, or my aunties or my cousins, not to let that happen to me. So I formed a plan in my mind on how to get over. Like I said, it came from even being touched, and from my father not being there. So those are things that I did, and even now, even now, I got, I talked to Steph, and I got a couple of people saying you need to pull your guard down some, because even now I have issues with men. I don't like the fact of being looked at a lustful way, and I think that's only because of the lifestyle the direction I went in. Because, like I said, I formed a plan in my mind on, I'm gonna get you before you get me, type of thing. You know, and with that being said, you kind of use them like a dish rag. You every time you with them for a purpose. So that was my thing. And even with, like you said, I didn't want to. I had became the fact that I didn't want to even try to settle down. I was married, so I lost interest in doing that because so much stuff was going on. So it put me out in the street or on dating. Ain't no dating, messing around, with a married man for years. But I'm talking about
Okay,
years.
don't go there, because we about to go there in a few
Okay, well, let me take that.
seconds. But what I do want to hit on is the insecurities. People, like Regina just said, if you don't mind, can I share a little bit from earlier? Just a little bit.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. This can let you know that you can live. First of all, embrace your insecurities, ladies. And if you need to know how, call us. Don't call us. I'm in inboxes. We here for you. We are our sister's keepers. Learn what your triggers are. What triggers your insecurities? You understand what I'm saying? And know that you can be who you are. Be who you are. Love who you are. Be a business owner. Be a boss chick. You feel what I'm saying? And them insecurities are gonna still be there. Regina, I need you to unmute. It's okay. It's just a little noise. Cause we gonna have this conversation. You know what I mean? We gonna have this conversation. Because people think that we adults, we're not supposed to be still struggling with the same things. Why not? My sisters, whether you black, white, green, or purple, society has created a false image for us to follow. So there's always going to be some type of insecurity. And when you're getting older, you become the cougar. Right.
Oh, wow.
When you get when you get older, who is cousin Vinny? I don't have a cousin Vinny. This is a mom stuff. What's going on? No, but as you get older, you know, and you become that crew, you know what I'm saying? People, Don is back, everyone. Woo! All right, Don is back. So now, Regina, you know, devil, just leave us alone, devil. Now, Regina's going. If y'all see that, I need y'all to put up some hearts. I know y'all up here live. If y'all can put some hearts up and pray for your girl, please, because something is really attacking our airways. So we just bind up everything, every word curse, everything spoken against this live broadcast, everything trying to hinder us for being our sisters keepers, for helping someone out, letting them know they're not alone, letting them know that we've been through it too and we are still going through it. God, we ask that you move it out of our way in the name of Jesus, because this gonna come out. You understand what I'm saying? So in saying that, if y'all can throw some hearts, and yeah, I see y'all. Thank y'all so much. And while y'all doing that, make sure y'all saying a prayer for your girl, because something is really messing with us today. So we were talking about insecurities. So Regina answered, and I was about to tell a little story of something that happened earlier. But before I do that, I want you to talk about insecurities, some of your insecurities, and the reason why you wasn't on here. So I'm gonna repeat it. There might be someone listening that's going through the same thing that you either been through or are going through now. You understand? And because when you came on, the thing I was saying was, as women, we think, you know, an insecurity we had as a kid, we're not gonna have as an adult, and that's not true. Yes, you embrace it. Yes, you conquer it, but don't let it. Don't be fooled that it's not gonna still be there. When you get older, you get another insecurity, because then you see all the young broads 20 and better. Well, not no more, because their bodies ain't better. Their bodies ain't that much better than, but back in the day, you know, back in the day, back in the day, as you got older, hitting the 30s and 40s and 50s, you were looking at like 20. You looking at the 20-year-olds like, dang, you know, look at her body, or you know, she's gonna take my man. She's gonna, because your husband's looking at 20-year-olds now, and you know, that was that insecurity that hit you. But nowadays, we really don't have to worry about it, because everybody, it just evened out all across the board. Some young girls, chicks look a little older, and you know what I'm saying. Some young older women look a little younger. Look a little younger, you know what I'm saying? Bodies getting right, you know what I'm saying? They lift it just like everybody else. So, you know, it might, what did it say? It might have just went black. No, she didn't just go black. She, I don't know. She's going. So go ahead and talk about some of your insecurities, if you don't mind, and how you dealt with them, and made it through. So someone else who's dealing with something that you deal with, they can get. I know.
Wow. For me, it's unrelated to. I'll give one that's unrelated to a man. In this particular, because I know we have a lot of stories of what that looks like. But for me, from a kid, I was insecure about my speaking voice, my voice. Period. My voice. Period. And it was weird because I, grew up with a family of six kids. So, having a household full of kids and being crazy and just doing random stuff, getting on my mom's nerves, my dad's nerves, and all of that. But I think that because I was the baby girl, I got kind of ridiculed for just being a baby. And so when I spoke, they was like, "Oh, you sound so whiny," and like it was always like something about the way I spoke. It was really when I would laugh, because I sounded like a witch. I ain't gonna lie. It was real like hyena, kind of a laugh. But anyway, I was a kid, so for me as an adult, I can laugh about it. But as a kid, I was offended. I was hurt. I felt like I wasn't wanted to be around because of it, because people thought I was annoying. And so, well, at least my siblings, a couple of them, not all of them. So no shots to everybody, but it was just like some of my sisters, they were like, we don't want you hanging out with us because not only you the baby. So I couldn't talk the more adult talks that they shouldn't have been having in the first place, but whatever. I couldn't have those conversations. And then on top of that, when I would laugh and engage, I was, I wouldn't say bullied, but I was talked about. And so it hurt me to the point where I said, you know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. Y'all won't ever hear me speak. You won't ever hear me laugh again or anything like that. I started to feel like I was legit serious. So what I started to do instead, I said, I'm just gonna write. And so that's when I started my journaling. And I would just write everything that I felt down. I wasn't opening up to people. So this is issue number one. I stopped talking in a sense of being honest and open about my feelings and just engaging because I thought people didn't want to hear me. Just off of the strength of laughing, I felt like people didn't want to hear me. You didn't want to hear me speak. You didn't want to hear me sing. You didn't want to hear me. No, because my voice is annoying. So I grew up with that mentality. And so instead of people being my friend, my paper was my friend. And me writing it out. And now that's where developing a relationship with Christ and all of that came into play. But in that moment, I didn't view it the way that I viewed it now. Now, as an adult, and realizing that some of those things are still my issue. I still have trouble sometimes speaking out. I'm becoming a little bit more aware of it now, so I'm able to not care as much. I'm starting to develop a confidence in a sense of like, it doesn't matter what people think about it. It's what is your voice, and it's important. And that's the part that I had to realize that it was important. I understood my voice. I understood that I had one, but I didn't think that it was important because people didn't like it when I was a kid. Off of strength of laughing. This is all a joke. This is all me playing around and laughing with people and getting, ridiculed or talked about, whatever, made fun of. That's the better word than bullied. But I was made fun of for it. And so, to this day, I still have those moments where I feel like, wow, like, I don't know, should I? Oh, I don't know, should I? No, don't do it. Oh no, don't say anything. Oh no. And so everything became this, I became so comfortable with being, with not saying anything, with shutting up. And so that's where the reserved me came in, and people would be like, oh, you're so calm, you're so reserved. Well, that, after I think about it, was because in retrospect, I was doing that all along. I was developing that type of behavior. And although it's seen as a strength now to this day, it's also like a double whammy. It's my strength, and it's definitely my weakness.
Okay. In saying that, can you tell how you deal with it? Because we do have, I don't know why we can't see the comments up here. But if you're on your laptops, guys, you could go on your phone and hit the video. But if you use your phone and tap into the live, that way you can see what's going on.
All right.
But, or if you on your phone, use your laptop or your iPad or whatever and go into the live so you can see what's going on. But there is someone who said, she's been through that too, her insecurities. And I know she's not lying. I like her. I can relate. It's my niece, y'all.
Oh,
and
wow.
Listen. I call her Snoop Bucket. I'm sorry, Snoop Bucket. I know you grown, but she didn't talk. I don't know why. I guess now I'm finding out why. Listen, my kids, they cousins, they was like, Ma, she talk. Y'all just don't hear her talk. But the first time I heard her talk, that thing shocked me. It shocked the mess out of me. I was like, oh shoot, wait a minute. I was like, dang, you talk? Really? Is that, you know what I'm saying? So if you can, that insecurity of talk, because I went through that as well. I didn't shut up, but because my voice is raspy, people think it's because certain things I've done in my life. But there's certain things I've done in my life, and that's not the case. My voice was always deep, even as a girl. A young girl, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8, 9. My voice has always been raspy. I was always a lyricist. I didn't like to sing. I never wanted to sing because my voice was different. Insecurity. Even now, in certain arenas, I'm like, no, everybody else sound the same. I'm different. I feel funny, whatever. And though people might like it and be saying, oh, son, you sound so good, I'll be like, in my head, I'm like, you know? So when I begin to see the Erica Badu's and things and the Jessica Reedies, I was happy. You feel me? But as a young kid, yo, if I didn't want to talk to you, it worked for my good, but it's an insecurity. Even to this day, I'm on the phone at work. I don't care no more. I don't even correct them no more. My voice is deep. And early in the morning, it's even deeper. Having a cold, it gets even deeper. So when I was going through that little cold last week, I was like, hello. They was like, hello, sir. I'm like, oh. At first, it used to hurt my feelings, though. It used to hurt my feelings. I used to be like, you know, everybody think I'm a man on the phone. So I used to fake it. And when it's so crazy. I used to fake it and be like, hi, thank you for calling. And that thing hurt. That hurts. And I'm making myself sore. Can't go to the studio because all day I was at work like this. Thank you for calling. This is Yasmin. I'm good. Just so people would know, oh, that's a female. Because my voice is so raspy and so deep. You understand what I'm saying? But I get that. So I didn't stop talking though. I use that. Don't get it twisted. My bite is bigger than my bark, okay? But I use that bark and it, you know, it helped. You get what I'm saying? That bark helped. That deepness in that bark made them think twice, so I wouldn't have to do what I got to do. You feel what I'm saying? So it could work for your good or bad, but into shutting down and not wanting to talk, can you please tell how did you overcome to where you can have a, and I see you do it sometimes. Sometimes you'll talk and you have a conversation. The other times you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's it, whatever. And I'm like, what is wrong? Now I know. Now I get it. So can you go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, and I will say even it's a defense thing because I built it up for so long to not become annoying. I don't want to ever annoy anybody. So it became a people pleasing thing after a while, right? So now I want to please you. I want to make sure that you never feel any type of anger towards me or frustration or even annoyance from me. And so so that's how it kind of started to climb its way up to different things and levels of what that looked like. But I think what helped me tremendously was being pushed by people to lead in different avenues, whether it's singing or at work. When I first moved here, I got in a position where I was in the field all the time, and I'm always having to talk to clients on the phone. I'm always having to give people information, meeting up with people for their homes because, you know, they would be looking to rent the homes. And so I would meet with, people like at least 10 to 20 people a day and have, you know, these conversations with them. And you know, sometimes we have things in common. And so the first thing is when you recognize what it is. Right? You know, they go to these programs and they say, oh, the first step is to know for yourself, this is what it is. I think that's what it was for me because I'm very self-aware. I was able to find it and pinpoint, okay, this is what's going on with me. And if I really want to fix it, I have to be very intentional about this. And so what I started to do was look up ways to be more confident in that and comfortable with my voice. And so I downloaded an app once and just was like, okay, find your voice app. And it was just little things to open you up in conversation, breathing techniques, all kinds of things, just so that you can be comfortable. Wasn't about just, you know, being able to tear the roof off and singing or whatever. Like, no, it's just out of being comfortable and not being afraid. And so, so little things like that I started to do. And as I began to have more conversations with people, and people received what I had to say very well. And they would thank me for stuff sometimes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, had I not said that, had I closed my mouth, I wouldn't have gotten the, I would say it's a little bit of gratification behind knowing that, man, you know, it's okay. Like, you are okay. And so there's nothing wrong with you. And that was my affirmation. Those were confirmations for me, rather, that there was nothing wrong with me. And so it helped me to keep going in that direction. So now the things that I'm doing is in the morning, instead of just yawning and getting ready for the day, I'm in my mirror, and I have my mirror has, and I would show you guys what You know, I'm gonna stick to where we at right now. It's a hot mess in that bathroom. But my mirror, I write down the things that are encouragement to me. So
Yeah.
whether it's present your best self today or every day, or keep going, keep going, keep growing. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones. It's just a bunch of stuff that kind of helped me to not go back. Don't go back to that old, just secluded. I'm content because I'm in my bubble, and nobody can hurt me because I'm in my bubble. And that's really all it is defense, right? We don't ever want to. We don't ever want to
fear.
Right? We don't like that, and it's fear. It's fear. So now, you know, it creates all kinds of stuff. But I said that to say that now it's more like, okay, well, you need to talk to these people. You need to have a conversation with your friends sometimes. It's okay for you to have conversations. It's okay to pick up your phone and call somebody else. They don't have to always call you. And so I'm still developing that area because, again, for me, and Jazzy, you know, you call me and I'm like, I'm in the beginning, I'm like, okay, I'm with it. Sometimes I have to build myself up to have a conversation because I'm so used to being secluded. And I've been okay with that for so long that now I have to, like I said earlier, be extremely intentional about my growth path in that area. And now it's slowly but surely developing more confidence in my conversations. And then now with my work now, I'm you know, over a department, and I have to lead these meetings. I have to have conversations with corporate. I have to have conversations with the CEOs of the companies, and I can't be afraid when I'm having these conversations. And if I am, I need to find a way to get through that in that moment and not panic sweat and not go through this new level of anxiety that takes over me where I'm forgetting everything that happened. You know, all kinds of things happen when you allow that to overtake you. So the first advice I'd give her, and I would say first step is not only recognizing what she already does, but the second part is really just to be intentional about getting out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guess what? That was the insecurity. There's more insecurities. But before we move from insecurities, now that Regina is back up here, this is really important, this segment. So I'm going to ask her to unmute, because the thing is, sometimes we get insecure when, check it, we get saved, we get in Christ, we did what we did in our past, now we this new creature, we this new creature, and we want our past to stay hidden. Or we don't like our past. It ain't even that we hiding it. We don't like it. We don't want to deal with it. I've outgrown it. It is what it is. Not realizing that past can assist somebody with their present. Not realizing that, okay, a simple picture of you from back in the day, right? Say this is the picture. Where the camera? Oh, sorry. This is the picture from back in the day. This is the picture from now. They see you back in the day, looking however you was getting, representing whatever you was representing then. But then when they see you now, there you go, that gives them hope. Because I hustle just like you hustle. So if I see you out here with the jewelry, the weed, the bags, the bundles, you feel what I'm saying? The cigarettes, the liquor, the boobs out, or whatever, because of what you was doing, and say, I'm still in it. Watch me now. Watch this. Watch this. I'm still in it. So I see your picture and I'm like, yeah, because I'm in agreement with that. But then when that new you come up and I see that new you, I know that there's hope for me. Yeah, this is about insecurities. And I know that this, let me finish. You know how you do. I'm right here with you, Regina. It can be, and sometimes it takes someone to say, hey, that's your past, which is somebody else's present. Use that to help somebody get free. Instead of saying, that was me then and I don't like that. You might not, because you might look at it and know where you was at that time, and we don't. You might look at it and know what you was plotting at the time when you took the picture.
I'm through now.
Come on now. And we don't. Some of us don't. and some of us don't. But that just might help somebody that's in the present. And I say that because it's not really an insecurity, but it is to a certain degree. Oh, thank you guys. It is to a certain degree. Hold on, let me stop. PD, I want to say hello and thank you for joining us today, you guys. PD is up here. So, yeah, she's up here. Hey, PD. So, in saying that, the flyer picture.
That's yes.
The picture on the flyer, when the flyer came out, Regina called me and I'm going to just tell a little bit, right? Regina called me and was like, she didn't even call. She sent me a message. No. I was like, who she thinks she's talking to? Like, she just came at me like, no, that's not the picture. That don't represent me. And I'm like, okay, hold on now. Wait a minute. I'm like, okay, is she gonna say I'm not coming on? Like, what is gonna happen because of this picture? So I explained to her, I said, well, I didn't do, someone, she knows who do my flyers because, she knows who do my flyer. I said, well, and it wasn't my choice, honey. She chose the picture. She said, no, use this picture. I said, I don't want that picture. I'm not even picking that picture. Why? Because that picture right there says, hi, I'm Regina. Nigga, this true serum. It ain't no, hi, I'm Regina up here. In order for us to help people get free, they want to see you naked. And I don't mean without clothes, people. Let's get it together. But they want to see that you, so they know, okay, she really went through what I went through. So if God did it for her, if a therapist did it for her, if thinking differently did it for her, there's hope and a chance for me too. So the picture that's on the flyer, everybody, that little picture, she don't like it. She didn't want it up there because it was some type of, I say, insecurity due to the fact of her past. And it doesn't represent who she is right now, but it represents who somebody else is at this time. And this podcast on today is for my sister's keeper. So go ahead and tell us how you felt, Regina.
Go ahead and tell us how you felt.
So go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so yes, send me the pic, and I'm looking. I was like, oh, what? I know she just didn't do this right here. I said she got a picture of me with all my boobs out. This ain't, with my boobs up. This ain't who I am. I said, oh God, I'm gonna listen. You need to change this picture. I don't like this picture. And I said, Lord, I said either she gonna change it or I ain't getting up there. I ain't even playing myself like that. And it was like, what? Because and it is. I will say it is a form of insecurity because I never want people to look at me from at that point. At that point in time, because at that point in time in my life, I wasn't who I am now. But like I said, you still have to embrace who you were to help somebody now. And as and Chaz was talking, and I said, listen to him co-signing. But still, I won't. At that point in time, I still won't hear it because I'm there and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, for real. But it was because of it was because I know who Regina was then. I know who Regina was. I know her purpose. I know what her mindset was. And it was because it took me so long so long to get to where I am now, because it was a battle. Not realizing that it was for somebody else, and it's crazy because like God will bring you on what you say. My platform is to empower women, empower people in general. And until Yasmin reminded me, see, she had to remind me that it wasn't about who you are now. That was you then. But if they see your then and compare it to your now, it's hope. In the middle is hope. From your past to your present, that middle, that process is hope.
Yes, Lord.
So I understand. But sometimes it takes somebody to remind you because as soon as I seen that picture, oh girl, I called Stephanie. Steph, tell me what's going good with Yaz. What in the world?
Yo, Dawn, I tell you, she was like, no. I'm like, yo, what word?
She said, I'm good.
The thug in me rose up. I had to settle down.
Wait a minute.
Now,
I felt
Come
okay.
on, thugger. Don't be the hey, don't hurt nobody.
listen,
That
the
part,
G
I was
rose
like,
up. The G part of me rose
relax,
up.
dude. I said, yo, relax.
Because I knew that I had to send a text because sometimes when, like I said, that G part of me rose up. And I said, if you get on the phone, you will say it wrong because you and your feelings. So send a text. Because a text ain't a voice. You know?
But guess
I
what?
I took the wimp way out.
I called her because
you
first of all, I don't play with her. Okay. And I told her, I said, when God told me who to choose for this one, I said, Lord, why Regina? I'm gonna have to go through with her. I ain't got time for her.
Wow.
And God had to remind me, just like I had to remind her. How you think they feel about you?
Wow.
Because you do the same thing sometimes. And that's all based upon our insecurities, because where we are now, we're so used to being judged and beat down by the wrong people.
Yeah.
And people have used our past against us. Sometimes we forget everybody is not that person. Everybody is not going to do that to you, and everybody is not going to use your past against you. And because we don't want them to do it, because we want them to see us now, all shiny, glittering, like, yo, this me now, love me now. No, but that was me too.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you push me the wrong way, it might be me for a split second until I can, get myself out of that. You feel what I'm saying? So if you guys have any questions or want to say anything in regards to insecurities, let me know. I know Dawn and them, y'all can't see. Regina, mute your phone right quick. Y'all can't see the side right here for the comments. And I don't know why. Y'all can't see it. I can see the YouTube comments, but I cannot see the comments from Facebook. So I do have my phone right here. So right now we are about to go into relationships, women, sisters in relationships, being in a relationship, being with the man, being in the same sex relationship, being in the regular relationship, the anxiety of a relationship, of trying to keep somebody else happy when you're not happy. Being in relationships when you're not married and you single and you with someone else that is married, being an adulterer, whatever your reasons for, whether you know Christ or don't, whether you saved or not. He's the head of our life, and everything that we do should revolve around him. But this is not a segment where I'm judging anyone. But what I am doing is letting you know what I done. They're letting you know what they done, what they're comfortable with letting you know. Y'all know I'm open, but it is what it is. But as far as they go, them two, Don and Regina, they're gonna let you know themselves, what they, and if you are in that relationship and can't get out, we want to let you know that there is a way out. There's a way out of an abusive relationship. You might think you can't leave because he's the only one working and he got your mind so twisted and he's the one taking kids and you don't want to start over because you don't want to be a single mother. And what man is going to want you? Baby girl, as soon as you leave, you will begin to love yourself and you will find the balls to do what you have to do. Trust and believe it. So if you in that type of situation, if you a female who don't want commitment because you've been hurt, you've been molested, you've been raped, every man you've seen in your life, whether it was your father, your mother, boyfriend, or the third mother's boyfriend, was bad men. So what you do, you mess with married men because now you don't have to have an attachment. We're here for you too. If you a female and you in a relationship with another female, we're here to tell you, boo, that relationship is not going to be no better until you start to love yourself. So for any type of relationship that you in, if we have been in it, our job today is to let you know we are our sister's keepers and we've been through it. And if you can take anything for what we tell you on today, is to know that you can come out of it, grow from it, and live beyond it. So first up, let's go. One of the questions, I told y'all I wasn't going to ask some questions, but this is how we get on the relationship topic. There's a female. This is some broken pieces stuff because she always get the letters. But since I got two of them, I might as well do one of them. She's in a relationship with a married man. She's waiting for him to leave his wife. They've been together for 9 years. Not him and his wife. Him And I don't want to call her a side chick. You know what I mean? Him and the girl, he's in a relationship. But check it. He was with her 9 years and he only been married for 6. He has kids with both of them. What do she do? Now, I've never slept with a married man. I've taken money from a married man when I was young. Don't judge me. I was only 20-something years old. And yes, I knew better. But at that time, it was, I'm going to get you before you get me, like Regina said. No, it wasn't right, people. Okay? But it is what it is. And this is true serum, and that's the truth. So I've never slept with a married man, never been in a relationship with a married man, but I've taken money from a married man. It wasn't right. No, but he shouldn't have been married and trying to do what he was going to do and thinking he was going to get what he was going to get. And he didn't get nothing. And that's why I took his bread and told him to go ahead on about himself. So the question is, I don't know. We're going to ask Dawn and Regina if they ever been in that relationship so they can expound and help. So I think I want to start with, when you pointing at which one? Hold on. I'm sorry. I have been tuned in and out. So I have a question for the woman with the red lipstick. I don't know her name. Her name is Dawn Nooney. So my question is, how did you overcome not being shy? Nooney. Okay, Nooney, if you see it, Nooney, if you give us 5 minutes, we're going to go back to that question. Well, after this segment, that means you have to stay tuned and you have to stay engaged, because she will answer that after we finish this relationship, because there's some women up here that's in relationships and they don't know how to get out. And our job is to try and help, because we are our sisters keepers. So we're going to start with Don Lisa.
Is this pointing in the right direction?
Did you know why? That? Because y'all both at different age groups. Not far, but different. You feel what I'm saying? And I want your take as, you know, the younger, and then her take, not saying she's older, because she's not, because I don't even think she's older than me. I think I'm older than her. But so, go ahead, young whippersnapper.
Wow. So I didn't want to go first because I'm contemplating what I want to share and what I don't.
Oh, you know what? We're going to let Regina go first because we forgot Dawn has the speech thing. So she, not a speech thing.
You trying to call me a speech problem?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I would never. The speech thing to where she talks, but she only says what she wants to say, and she has to take her time and think about it, because, you know, I don't want to put you in a predicament where it gives you anxiety or anything. You know?
Oh, see, so this is part of the challenge. Is using those as opportunities. These type of situations as opportunities for you to overcome that type of thing. So this kind of helps with your niece, her question, and really just taking that moment, even though you're joking, you play too much. But you know, you take that moment as an opportunity, like, all right, you know what? I know this is not normal for me, but I'm just gonna step out of my comfort zone. And the first couple of times you might not do so well.
Okay, so in saying that, Dawn, can you please explain to us, have you ever been in a relationship that, you know, with someone else? They don't have to be married, but they could have had a girlfriend, and you could have had a boyfriend, but y'all was cheating together. It doesn't necessarily have to be a married man. You don't have to put all your business out there. Just give us the meat so we can assist in helping someone else. Now, remember, this is true serum. So
yes, ma'am. So in all honesty, yes, I've had situations where I was not so proud of. So let's just say that. Entanglement, you know, situations that I were not so proud of. And so can you repeat the question itself? Like, what?
This girl has been with her boo for 9 years. He's been married for 6 years. So
she feel like she was there first. So she has first dibs, in a sense. Like, she has rights. You know what I mean?
How can
there's a certain entitlement that comes with when you've been with someone for that long. So regardless,
he's married now.
I understand that, but can I tell the truth?
That's what I want you to do.
Right. Nothing so but the truth. The truth is what she's feeling. What's true to her is the fact that she was there first. what's true to her is that she has been loyal to somebody, whether whether he's doing his thing or not. So her truth is that she still cares. Her truth is that she wants to be with this individual. That's her truth. So I mean, as far as advice to give her, she knows that it's not a good situation. So I don't think that saying, "Oh, you should just stop," is going to help her. I think it's a self-awareness that has to happen, and when you become fed up with a scenario or hypothetics or how it could be, or you're falling in love with the idea of things getting better or progressing into more, and him leaving his wife or whatever. I think that once she falls out of love with that idea and the notion that they would not be together, and she realizes that that's not something that is healthy for her, and it's in her best interest to continue to do that, is that's the only time that it's going to actually make an action towards the a better future.
So now can I ask you, let me say this to you both. I want y'all to only share what's comfortable for y'all. Me, I'm open. I tell it's True Serum. It's my platform. So it's called True Serum. I do what I do. I only want y'all to say what's comfortable. You gave her some sound advice. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation or whatever. I know you said you had situations that you wasn't proud of. How did you come out of it? Tell them how you come out. How can it come? What are some steps you did? What are some things that you had to do? You don't have to tell the details of the relationship if you don't want to, but please tell them, what are the ways? How did you do it? Because I know at that time, insecurities come into play, wanting to be loved come into play, feeling a void comes into play. A lot of things come into play. I've been cheated before. He just wasn't married. He was single. I was single. We all was single. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And with me, it was filling a void, afraid of being alone. You get what I'm saying? Getting them, because they did. One man did me dirt. The rapist did me dirty. The man that raped me and stalked me. So every man had to pay for it. The molester did me dirty. So every man and woman had to pay for it. So I was a good cheater. And I used them and I did what I did. That's me. I had to learn to love me. Let God fill the void. Let me fill my own void along with God. Self-love. You understand what I'm saying? And once I begin my healing process in self-love, that's when I begin to see my error in my ways. So that's what I'm going to say. Can you tell them some things that you had to go through or something you had to do? Yeah.
Okay. So I've had relationships that it ended in two different ways. So the first, there's two ways to do this, right? So the first way to do it, obviously, is to actually make a decision and say, you know what, I'm done. Delete phone numbers, all of those things, right? And actually take a step back. That is not easy. That is not common, right? The second way is by default. Something hits the fan, things get blown out of proportion, argument, fights, things like that, right? Or not by choice, right? So like I said, there's I've had it in both instances where I did it by choice, and then the other instance was not by choice. It was me, by default. Things just went so south to where it's just no coming back. Now, in both cases, you know that it's not cool. You shouldn't be in a situation. It is what it is. I think you have to, if you're going to make a decision, you have to just, even if it's baby steps, coming to the terms of knowing that this is not okay. Let me start removing myself from the situation, not being so available, right? So that would be one major thing, is creating boundaries and being able to say, all right, well, dang, I might not be strong enough to delete your number yet, but I am strong enough to make sure that I'm busy and I'm doing things, and I'm not in a position to where I can, I'm tired by the time I come home to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily want to call now. I don't have the desire. I'm creating a level of busyness. So I would say that's one major thing. And then two, keep reminding yourself of how bad it is for you. You know, whether it's changing their name to something different in your phone, like Setback, or
That's good. That's good.
changing their name to Loser, or, you know, No Good For Me, or whatever. Like, change their name in your phone, because that definitely helps. And I can tell you, for me, that was hard, because I was like, I ain't changing no name. But no, I realized that was something I was gonna need, because I had already exhausted the other options. I already went through some of the measures to, you know, to take to try to, you know, remove myself, and they would work for a little bit. They didn't work. They didn't work all the way. So I had to start doing other things. So just finding things to do that would make you become less interested in that person. And then another thing I will say, and it's hard, because you can easily encourage somebody to be like, okay, you know, you're worth more and things like that. But if you don't see it for yourself,
That part.
oh my gosh, it completely, I, it keeps you in this holding place where it's like, you know, almost like the sunken place, as the people would say. Like, you
Yes.
don't know, you do not have you cannot fathom up a way to get out, because you're just so stuck. And so in those cases, sometimes you might need to seek outside help, you know, whether it's having friends around you that, you know, could help you process it properly and keep you accountable to your decisions, and making sure that things go. But one thing I did that I did not like, and I will say that about myself, for a person like me, having friends hold me accountable is not helpful. It's just,
I'm like, what?
it wasn't. It was not. It wasn't helpful. It made me angry. It made me annoyed. Like, all right, now I'm going to ignore your calls, because I don't. You know what I'm saying? So now it creates another level of isolation, and that's the worst place to be, right? So now you're already in this sunken place, and you're frustrated, and you don't know what to do with your feelings, because now you don't want to express anymore to your friends, because they're going to think you're stupid, and they're going to be talking about you, and they're going to be telling you like you're done, or don't do this or whatever, right? So you don't ever want to hear that, and now you create a new level of isolation. Now you're in a place where now you really can't talk to anybody about it. And now it's just either it's very hard to do, because you have to be extremely mentally strong in order for you to even come to that place of being able to say, all right, I'm completely done. That's the worst place to be. It's very hard to get out at that point. For me, I was able to do it, but by hair. I don't feel like I was exempt from being that girl who just completely, sorry, I will be stuck in this situation for the rest of my life.
And you know what? I can agree with you, because I was in a toxic relationship, and this is necessarily doesn't have to be. I'm just talking about the mindset right now. I'm not talking about who you're in a relationship with, but you hit a real good point. Regina, you next, girl. You next, girl. I see you over there. You next. But being in a being in a toxic relationship, I stayed in a relationship for a long time, man. Like, it was abusive, cheating, everything's drugs, everything was going on. And people would say leave. Like you said, that was such a valid and good point that I want people up here to know. People can tell you to leave. And this is for the people that's telling the people to leave. Stop judging them and calling them stupid. Stop saying they want it, they love it, I like it. Because the fact of the matter is, until their mind has taken enough, they're not gonna leave. And it's sad to say, your head could be getting pounded in every night, and you still on some, that's my boo, he loves me, that's my boyfriend, that's my baby daddy, that's my husband, whatever he is, the side nigga, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But to you, this plays back to insecurities. It plays back to self-worth. It plays back to loving yourself, conquering your insecurities and things of that nature, and embracing who you are as a female. You understand, as a woman, knowing who you are for real, knowing that you really the backbone. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes people will say, I stayed. I got away when somebody else toxic came and took me away, and wound up back in the same situation. So, that was such a valid point. So to everyone out there, if you're in these situations, You know, people can tell you to leave, and yes, it's a good thing to leave. But we need you to get your mind made up. Our minds had to be made up that we are worth more than the side chick. We are worth more than a punching bag. We are worth more than just a doormat. We are worth more than just a sex slave. We are worth more than that. And once you get to that place, you can just get a little increment. Once you get a little bit of courage, we say the faith of the size of a seed of a mustard seed. You get some courage the size of a mustard seed, you turn into the Hulk. And you'll be ready. So again, not validating bad relationships, but as people trying to help people in the toxic relationship, have a little more patience. And if you don't know what they're going through, you can't give up on them when you tell them get out the first time and they don't. Regardless if he married, single, abusive, or whatever. They don't leave that first time. You can't just say, well, you stupid, you don't know. Teach them how to love themselves. Show them their self-worth. Show them how amazing they are. Show them how beautiful they are. Because when you're in a relationship like that, especially whether you with a married man or with a toxic man, or abusing person, or whatever the case might be, and no, sir, men, please, I feel you. I hear you. Women can be abusive too. Women can be toxic too. But right now, I'm being my sister's keeper. So let me finish, okay? Thank you. So, you know, let them know and encourage them on how beautiful they are, because it starts in the mental. Once they get your mental, everything else is going. So once they didn't abuse your mental and got you where they want you at, it's just like slavery. Once they then broke you down, you're willing to do everything so you don't lose that comfort, what you think or assume to be normal life. Now, Regina, dude, come on with it, evangelist. I'm gonna call you evangelist right now. Go ahead.
Okay. A couple of things. What point was hit across? First of all, we're going to talk. I'm gonna stay on that mental part, because, like you said, you got to first know your self-worth. If you don't know your self-worth, you'll fall. I used to have a saying back in the days. There's two type of people in the world: those who can choose and those who got to be chosen. And if you don't know who you are, then you'll never be able to be the one that choose. You'll always be chosen. And the reason why I say that is because, um, like I shared with y'all earlier, when I got violated, and then when I felt the hurt from my father, I put up this wall. And when a broken person when a broken person go into a relationship, that relationship can't be nothing but broken and toxic, because you don't go in there whole. You go in there broken, searching and seeking for something. And most of the time, we seek for love, and love look different, all kinds of in different ways. So we got to be careful. We got to first start loving ourselves. See, women, we got to first start to learn how to love ourselves. And mothers, you got to learn how to know what to say to your daughters, know how to talk to them, because we can lose ourselves at home. We can lose ourselves at home. So we got to help build one another up. Now, to this young lady, you said you was in a relationship with him for 9 years, but he been only married for 6. So that tells you a lot about how he feel about you, because he didn't chose you. You chose him, right? I mean, it's true, Serum. I got to tell it. He didn't choose you. You chose him. So in the process of him not choosing you, he then decided, let me put it out a little bit out there to see if she'll still be the side piece. Because I know you don't want to call it that, but let's be real. This true, Serum. Because there's no other place for you but the side. Because he's going to respect his house. And I can strongly say this because I was in a married relationship. You understand? And I was in a relationship with a married man for a long period of time. And I'm not going to take this spiritual, but I got to tell you what happened to me. God allowed me to see this woman. And it's not like I didn't know her, because I did know her. I didn't know of her from the beginning, but I did know her. And God allowed me to see her in a store. I walked in the store and she was standing right there. And immediately when I looked at her, God told me, I heard a voice saying, some say either she's staying because she's scared, or she's staying because she's honoring her vows. And you're disrespectful. So I went, I didn't even go in the store. She didn't see me. I didn't even go in the store. I left out the store, got in my car. I called Stephanie. And I was like, oh my God, Steph, What in the world am I doing? I am tearing this lady up. This lady is praying for her husband. She's praying for her family. And I'm sitting here with disrespectful, no care, just doing me. Just doing me. Having a good time. Not even realizing what I'm putting to my daughters, what I'm showing to my son. See, I never thought about that because when you move like that, you only think of you. You only think of you. So with her saying that she have children, what are you showing those kids? You showing your daughters that they can be the second woman, the side piece, and be okay with it. You showing you showing your sons that they can run all over top of women and it's okay. See, you got to look at this thing. See, the only way to survive, you got to look at this thing with a truthful eye and know your worth and know your down, know your fault, and take responsibilities. See, you try to want somebody that ain't trying to want you. So you can't put all the blame on him.
Can you say that one more time?
You try to
I
want
just like
somebody that don't want you. So you
one
can't
more
put all the
time.
blame so you can't put all the blame on him because you're in a place of insecurity. You're in a place of brokenness. You're in a place of loneliness. So until you leave that place, until you find out who you are, until you get up in the morning time and start loving you, speaking positive into your life. Because see, I had to do the same thing. Like you said, you wrote it down. I spoke it. I said, Gina, you better than that. You better than that because this man is not going to leave. And if he do leave, question home, little lady, question. If he leave, what to trust at? Are you going to trust him? Because
That's it.
if we go to the store and stay an hour or 15 minutes later, 15 minutes longer than what you thought, could you trust him?
She's going to be crazy. Come on
now.
now.
His friend's house and want to stay to 10, 11 o'clock at night, can you trust them? And sir, can you trust this same woman that found a way to sneak out and romance you? Can you trust her? Because see, both of y'all know what it took for y'all to be with each other.
Mm.
So when you
come on now,
say that this is where you want to be, you got to ask yourself these questions. And I'm not trying to be hard, but I'm trying to be truthful.
Keep it 100.
Be truthful, because if I don't, then I'm gonna mishandle you, and you're gonna think it's okay, but it's not. Because what you're doing now, the man that actually for you, he sees you, but he can't get you because you are occupied with somebody who don't want you.
You want him, but he don't want you.
Exactly.
Say it again.
You know, he want when the wife make him mad, he got to have somewhere to go to. When it's an argument in the house, he got to have somewhere to go to. When he want that extra type of sex, because the wife may not be ain't doing what you doing, he coming there. See, you putting out 110%. You doing all that it takes, and all he doing is come. It's joy on that side.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. Look, come on now.
I'm going over there because we know how to romance each other's body. We gonna experiment. See, you gotta you put 100% out to somebody who ain't even trying to give you 10. You was there. You was with him for 9 years.
9 years, and he's been married only for 6.
How did this woman come in and 6 years and she stole his heart? How did she become the woman that was married material? Why wasn't you labeled married material? Ask yourself.
Because she did everything in the 9 years. Why? What else is there to do?
And he has no respect. But and if so, it's just to a very little. Because I know I can always see. You know what they used to call him back in my days? The plug, the girl, the go-to girl.
Yes.
Let's be real. The go-to girl.
The go-to Jane.
The late night girl. Mm-hmm. When she won't, she will, girl. You got to know your self-worth. Because if you don't, they'll run you like a train on a track.
Ooh.
They'll run
choo choo. Choo choo. Choo.
So,
choo.
Ladies,
come on.
Learn your self-worth. You're better than that. You deserve more. You got to understand what you deserve. How you look at let me ask a question. How do you look at yourself? Who do you see when you look at you? Because that'll determine who you connect to. And then you leave out these toxic relationships because your homegirl or your friend said, if I were you, I'd leave. But within a week, maybe an hour, you right back.
Okay, so I have a question for you. How you do it?
Let me tell you something. It was not easy. Like I said, God showed me the wife, and it hit me mentally because I said, "Oh my God!" First of all, how could you handle that if you? Like I said, okay, Jen, and now let me tell you something. I was married too. I was married and he was married, so we both was married.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was we was not even thinking about the significant others because they was hurting, because it was not like they didn't know about us, because it did. Because let me tell you something, the reason why I'm gonna say this is because when you start doing stuff like that, you become reckless.
Yeah.
You become reckless and you don't care about nobody but yourself, and you forget about the other people that's connected.
Mm.
And like I said, you'll be down a mental trail, because at some point in time when you look in the mirror, you don't like who you see. But you
Okay,
fake
that's
it
good.
you know that fake it till you make it thing. That's it. You fake it until you make it right. You fake it until you try to make it right in your mind, but it never happens. So I battle with that thing. I battle with. Let me tell you something. My son, my son came to me. My son happened because, like I said, I never made it so my children could see us together, right? So one particular time, my son seen us. My son said, "Mom, you taught us better than that."
Mm.
He said, "How don't you?" He said, "Why don't you see it? You told us that's either you're gonna be a runner or you're gonna be a houseman, a runner or a family man." He said, so he said, "You don't know he's a runner." See, what I instilled in them, they had to bring it back to me.
That's good. That's good.
So all these things with me seeing her and with my sons coming to me and saying, Mom, I never said, basically he was saying I never said anything, but I didn't see it. But how do you bring it into my vision?
Mm.
He said, then my other son said, "Do y'all understand the children are getting hurt?" Let me tell you something. That ripped me. That right there ripped me.
So the question to you is, for the woman who don't have kids, who's messing with the married man, what did I understand what you're saying? That it took you to see the wife and hear what she's going through. It took your kids to see and throw it back at you. But what are some things for a woman, for
That's
ourselves, that we can do? Say we don't have the kid.
what
We
what
don't have the kids to throw something back at us. Say we don't have the discernment or the ear to hear at the time. Because some people, we can turn that off. If I'm doing dirt, I ain't trying to hear that.
and
Not
I did
saying I'm
for a
not,
long
but I
time.
know how to just move it out the way and keep going. I'll be convicted if I'm in. Sometimes you get in that mode when I don't give a mode. And
Hey,
even though you're hearing it, you don't want to hear it. It makes you worse. You can get worse.
I did that for a long time. I turned it off. I turned it off. But let me say this: how long do you live there? How long do you stay in that place? See, as a woman, you got to ask yourself, how long are you willing to be the second woman, or how long are
Okay.
you willing to to stay in a toxic relationship? How long are you willing? Because see, I even had a friend who made a statement, just to go off. I'm coming back because all gonna get together. I've been with this man so many years. You
Come
think
on,
I'm gonna make
Pastor.
him? You think I'm gonna make him right for the next one?
Mm.
I've been with this nigga for so long, and I put up with all this, and you think I'm gonna walk, just walk him away, and I'd have made him good for the next woman? See, we
Yeah.
put that stuff in our mind too. So how many years do you allow yourself to stay in that bondage,
Mm.
that low self-esteem?
Mm.
See, because whether you married, whether you got children, you got to do a self-check. You got to start checking on how much I love me. Where do my feelings come intact? How do you love somebody more than you love yourself, that you're willing to allow them to do whatever they want to do to you? How do you get to a place that you love somebody so much that they're able to do whatever they want to you, and it's okay, it's acceptable? So I tell the women, self check, learn your worth, start loving you, look in the mirror and tell you how good you are, because a man is and don't get me wrong, man, because I mean, like I'm like, yeah, no, come for me, because y'all see I'm a little feisty.
Don't do it. Y'all don't know us. We roll like that.
We are prey. We are prey to the men. They can sense when we're weak. They can sense when we're broken.
Yes, they can smell it.
They put us.
Let me tell you something. Can I jump in on this part? Just this part, and then we're gonna move because we're gonna move on because I know it's time has been. It's good. This is good information, and evidently they don't want me to stop because they asking questions and giving y'all kudos. Y'all helping one of my family members, my niece. I love her so much. She don't talk, but God knows I love her. She do good here. So by the way, if you guys are looking for someone to make you a hair unit, her name is. What's her name now on Facebook? Hold on. I'm trying to give her props and she didn't. Her name is Jamila Regine Campbell. I will link y'all to her. She makes the bomb units. That platinum blonde one I had on when me and Travis went away 4th of July. She makes it. She custom makes them, custom dyes it. She does all of that. Y'all hit her up. She is amazing. So what I want to say is we can sense when a man is weak. You know when you meet y'all excuse my French. We know when we meet a nigga and we know we can take his money and we know we can get anything from him. Yep. We know he's gonna be one that stays no matter what we do.
Yep.
Y'all know, y'all better know. They know when you hurt and abused.
Yep.
I used to cry and say, God, am I cursed? Is there a stamp on my forehead that say violate me? I thought it was like a sign to say, come violate me, come try your hand, come take it.
Wow.
Come abuse me. I might cut and shoot you, but come try it anyway. And the problem is a predator is a predator. And just because you ain't going after little kids and you going after grown women, a predator is a predator. And a predator can sense fear. A predator can sense your brokenness. A predator can sense your insecurities. A predator knows that you ain't have a man around you to teach you your self-worth. See, that's the problem when some of us have no fathers in the home or even fathers that didn't pay us no mind. A man can seek that and see that you don't know who you are and you don't know how a man is supposed to really treat you. So you're going to take that down bag and drop it like it's hot. You're going to take these 5411s and do what it's supposed to do. And I can do whatever I want to you. And as long as I feed you, get you something to smoke and drink, drip you in the latest drip every now and then and tell you, I love you.
Yep.
You're going to do what I want you to do and stay as long as I want you to stay. A predator can sense and feel all of that.
That's it.
They sense it. It's just like a prophet feel when you're tugging on them and you need a word. I ain't going here. But you know, they can sense it.
Mm-hmm.
A predator know who to come after and who not to come after. Every now and then they try somebody to see if they can. And when they try the person that they know they can't get, it's just to put another notch under their belt. See, I was a notch to everybody because everybody already thought I was gay. I was a notch because I wore baggy clothes. I told her the gun. I hustled. I moved weight. I rhymed. I toured with Woo. I was a notch under their belt. I was a challenge, but they didn't know that deep down inside, I was a scared girl who was molested multiple times, raped, stalked, and beat, and kidnapped. And in the inside, I was still that little girl, scared to death.
That part.
It's just I wasn't scared to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't scared to tote this. That's what made them second guess. But on the weekdays when I didn't know better, I knew God, but I wasn't in love with God.
That's it.
I knew God, but I didn't know who I was. So when I didn't know how to touch the hem, when I didn't know how to call on his name for real, not mimic what everybody else do, but when I didn't know how to get in that deep place, they was able to get me. Yep. Because I didn't have friends. I told y'all I kept them far away from me. So I was alone, popular, but alone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they seen that. A predator knows, baby.
Yes, he
a
does.
Predator knows. Listen, guys, I see you guys. I hear you. Y'all being real and listening and learning from y'all because I've been there also. I know, baby girl. I know it. I know it. Listen, I would love to keep going on, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this last question because you know we are doing a moment of peace for Brianna, and we're gonna let the infamous, one of the baddest female singers I know, singer, songwriter / musician, Dawn Lisa, is gonna sing for us during the moment of peace. I didn't call it a moment of silence. We want a moment of peace. When you die that horrible, you're not looking for the y'all people with it. I'm about to go somewhere else. I ain't gonna go there. She's not looking for the riot. The spirit is not looking for a riot. She's looking for peace. We need peace.
Yeah.
Anyway, we ain't going there because that's not what this show is about. So our last thing is, before we go into the Breonna Taylor moment of peace, and that last question, I'll take on that. I'm gonna ask both of these young ladies if they can give something to any young lady, any woman, any female listening. What would you give them from your experience? Because I did see, and y'all please don't think I'm ignoring y'all. I'm gonna have to bring these two back for another part too, because I see y'all women who want to know. I know because I went through this, y'all. Loving him more than you love yourself and feeling unwanted with your man. The one that's supposed to protect and provide and make you feel safe. You going super hard and still feeling less than. You going super hard and still feeling unappreciated. You going super hard and feel like nobody got you. You going super hard and feel like you being left out in the cold, but you making sure he eat. You making sure he clean. You making sure his clothes is right. You making sure everything, he's fulfilled. He's pleased. Everything. But you're still feeling. See, that's a self thing. I'm gonna just have to be honest, y'all. Let's get this out the way before we go into this, because I seen that question 3 times and I tried to avoid it because I've been through it multiple times in the past and in my present marriage. But in this present marriage, I know who God is. You hear me? So it was something in me. See, sometimes we get with someone and we think we know them. And as time go on, what we didn't like, we think we can change it. And we think we can mold it to be to what we like. But when you got a real man, a real king, he gonna be who he is. So your job is to say, am I gonna accept it? Can I accept it? Can I live with it? Especially if you're married. That's the first thing. Second thing is you have to put yourself in check. Oh my God. You have to put yourself in check. That's the word I gave y'all the other day. That renovation process is real, because I've seen some things that I was given to him he didn't even deserve. It was because my renovation began. Things that were laying dormant from the little girl who was abused. Things that was laying dormant from my ex-marriage, not this one, but my old marriage. Things that was laying dormant from when I was running the street was coming up. You know, you got to break the house down. You got to dig. You got to gut it out. I was being gut out. And them things, certain things was trying to latch on. Yep. And every time they would latch on, I was feeling it.
That's it.
So I begin to feel unwanted. I begin to feel unappreciative. I begin to feel like, what the hell am I doing? I'm Yasmin Denise. I could get anybody I want. I could do that. But it wasn't about that. That was that facade I put up. That was that wall I started to build like I used to build. And God said, no, you're going to feel this. Because when I get you to where I need you to be, I don't want it to come up and bust you right upside your head in front of millions. And I said, okay. I learned that I was still insecure about my body. I learned that I still had a void from when I was molested. I thought I was healed and I was done with it. I am healed. I am delivered. But I had some residue.
That's it.
I had residue. So them dreams that used to taunt and haunt me about the rapist coming back was just sitting there. And when I didn't want to be alone, and I'm like, well, I'm not scared to be alone no more. The fact was, when I was alone, my mind got to thinking. Maybe he's not giving me the attention I need. I'm a needy person.
Wow.
You gotta keep it real with you. Know who you are.
That's it.
So that way you can get your love language to match his love language. And there's got to be some compromise along the way. I'm not perfect by far, people. Come on. Please know this, women. Let me help you. Know your love language. I'm a person that needs to be touched. I'm a person that needs to be caressed. I don't need it. I like it. I like it. I like the letting me know you. You don't have to always say it. You can show me at times. But if his way of showing is different than what you're the norm, I like the Hallmark Channel, so everybody can imagine the things I like. I like flowers. I like chocolates. I like this. I like that. His love language might not be chocolates and flowers. His love language could be, I'm paying all the bills. Take your money. Do what you want. Go out of town. And after you then went out of town, shot till you drop, you come back and you still pissed. Why? Because you still didn't get the chocolates. You still didn't get the flowers. You still didn't get what you thought you needed. But baby, I learned that was an insecurity because I built this fantasy world. That's why I love Hallmark. Follow me here. Let me help you. I love the channel so much because that was the fantasy I built when I was a kid to keep me from going crazy during all the abuse that was going on when I was being touched. So I built this little thing because I love my mother. Don't get it twisted. She was not perfect by far, but she was not the worst. You understand what I'm saying? And because people used to talk about their grandparents and their fathers and this and that, and I didn't have none of that. So I built this fantasy in my mind. And it used to keep me at peace. And when I started to get really angry, music was my release. But what happens when you got writer's block? What happens when you seen everything on the Hallmark Channel? What happens? That's when the renovation begins because it starts to dig out. It was digging out and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But guess what it did? After it all came out, it made me appreciate him even better. You know why? Because God damn, I'm tired of being the head of any household. I don't have to be the head no more. I have a man that's the head of my house. Any other relationship I had, I was the head. I don't care how thugged out they was. I paid the bills. I found the crib. The car was in my name. I took it. I did this. I did that.
Woo. That's good.
It's coming. But now guess what? I have someone I can trust that he can be the head. And I can follow. And y'all know I'm aggressive. I don't like to follow. No, I'm like, what? Follow what? Where you gonna lead me to?
Yeah.
But once I was gutted out, wherever you leading me, I know it's right. So I'm with you, homeboy. Let's get it.
That's good.
You feel me?
That's good.
No chick never intimidated me. But when I went through that, honey, I was Yasmin to the fifth power.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Dawn. She'll tell you, I don't care if y'all on a worship team, nigga, don't call him. She'll tell you. Not after 9, nigga. What? You want him to play? Call him tomorrow. Now, you know, you do gotta watch some people, but you know, that was me though.
Mm-hmm.
So women, in regards to that question, being in love with someone and feeling like you're doing everything, but you still feeling unwanted, check yourself.
That's it.
Check yourself for something that's laying dormant. Check yourself, because there's a void that's not being met because something is blocking it. And yes, God is enough. Don't get it twisted. Don't think because you still got a void. They say God will fill every void. He will. But if it's laying dormant and you ain't even spoke to it, he's a gentleman. He ain't going to force it.
That's
He
it.
do it
That's
right
why.
at the right time. When I was open to it, when I was broken and said, Lord, I don't want to be single. Lord, I don't want to lose them. But Lord, I can't do this. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to catch a case. I don't want to eat Medea in this place. I don't want that. I'm at my breaking point. Like Carrie Hills. What's her name? Carrie Hilson. Every woman got a breaking point, y'all. Hey. I don't want to, that's not what I want. And then he came in and did what he did. So I'm going to say to you guys, love yourself, learn yourself. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Jealousy, envy, insecurity, depression, anxiety, we all have it.
Yep. That's it.
Whether we saved or unsaved.
That's it.
And we are all sisters. And if we can come together, you can inbox me whenever you want. If we could come together and say, hey, how your day going?
That's
because
it.
being a woman in this climate right now, you don't only have to be scared. You, first of all, you think about it. A woman, a mother, you got to be scared if the police can kill your kids. The streets can kill your kids. Whether it's your son or your daughter. Now you got to be scared if you sleep in your bed, if the police gonna kill you. If you gonna get stopped.
Yep.
If a Karen gonna throw a glass bottle at you, how you gonna act while you're jogging? You got so much.
That's it.
Coming at that shell trying to break you down. Grab a hold to somebody else. Hey, I see you went through this. I see this and this and this and that. I'm not really that type of person to seek out for people, but I'm there for everybody. But I had to learn. I have to find a woman that's been through what I've been through. And I know there's plenty. And my husband told me that you don't know what this lady has for you. But because you don't like women and you have something against women, you're going to miss out on the opportunity of learning something and completing what you're supposed to do or helping them. You never know. God might use them to plant a seed and give you what you need, and not just financial people. But in return, you might be that help that they need.
That's good.
So, yes. Thank you, beautiful woman. Oh, they love you guys. I'm telling you, you're going to have to do a part 2. So, in saying all of that, can y'all give them 2 seconds of something that's what I said. That was my take. I didn't mean to say all of that. I really wasn't trying to tell my business or whatever. But I seen that thing like 3 times in my inbox, and then I seen it on here tonight. So it just had to be addressed. So y'all give them 2 seconds so we can jump into the Brianna moment of peace. Dawn.
You're gonna be mad at me because I don't remember exactly the question. Everything you said was really, really elaborate and great.
It's no question.
Just final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Something to give to these women.
Wow.
2 seconds. I mean, 1 minute.
1 minute. I got a minute.
Okay. We're ready for you to sing. Come on. Wow. Yeah.
All right. So I would just say, stay in faith. Stay in your own ear about things. I think that sometimes we as women, we focus on all the negative, all the things that are wrong, all the things that are not right with us, all the things that are hit and miss, right? And that damages our perspective heavily. And so I would say stay in your own ear in a positive way. Where the focus goes, the power flows, right? So if you're steady focusing on, how somebody hurt you and how bad, whatever something has been, you will never get past that hump. So my encouragement to anybody that's on this live is to stay focused on the positive things. Stay focused on the things that will be enriching and making you better and growing you in any level, in any capacity. Because a lot of people don't realize how much negative thoughts can have an effect on how they move. And it's not until you start to start speaking those things that are a good report of good things that will help you It's not until you start doing that when you would actually start seeing some results of it. And you know, just like people who have no reason to be overly confident, but you get the people that, you know, super confident in the thing that they're doing, and they might do a horrible job at it. They might suck at it, right? But they go hard, and they're doing it with all the confidence in the world because they believe in themselves. And sometimes, even though they might not be doing that great, because because they believed in themselves that much, it's a connectivity that happens. People actually start to enjoy them, or whatever, for whatever the thing is that they're doing. And so I think be confident, be grow in that area, and you'll find that you'll start making better decisions, because now you've developed, like Regina said, that love for yourself and that respect for yourself, to where now, you know, you don't feel comfortable. You don't even want to do it anymore, because it's not even, it just doesn't feel the same. It's just not it's not giving you the same fulfillment. And so is when you start seeing those little things that start to change, is when you'll know, like, okay, things are getting better. I'm getting stronger in this area. So that's my encouragement to the people. Hope that wasn't more than a minute.
It was okay. It's all right. You good. You good. These people are just asking so many questions. Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, so they do want a part 2. So I'll get with Regina and Dawn to see in October, because you know October is all about different things for us as women. So maybe we can do it in October. Regina, can you give us a minute?
My work, you know, what I would say is to learn to love yourself. Learn you. See, first you got to, the work begins within yourself. When you get up in the morning, start speaking life into yourself. Start loving yourself, because you can't love nobody or expect somebody to love you when you don't have the love for yourself. So first seek the self-love. Start loving you, reminding yourself of who you are first. Just take some time. Take 15 days. I challenge you to take 15 days. They say within 12 days. No, I'm sorry, 21 days. So let's go here. Take 21 days, because whatever you process in your mind in 21 days, your mind start doing what it has processed. So take 21 days and write down every day what you love about yourself. Start speaking to yourself. If you can't write it, say it. Speak positive into your life for 21 days. Don't, if a negative thought come in, I'm not gonna say dismiss it, but play it down. Play it down. You know, flip the strip on yourself. Stop worrying about what so much negativity about you, or who you want to be and you're not, or complaining about your body, or complaining about this, or complaining about that. But just start speaking some life and love to yourself. Because like I said, in order for you to love somebody else, you got to learn how to love yourself. See, we go in broken because we don't know about love. So self-love, 21 days, ladies, self-love, self-love. I mean, I know you got children. Don't put the children on the back burner for a little bit. Put the man on the back burner for 21 days. And put yourself first. Because a lot of us don't put ourselves first. That's how come we become so trapped. So embrace yourself. 21 days.
Okay, everyone, 21 days. I think all you guys, before we do this moment of peace, we're gonna let Don Lisa, the baddest, one of the baddest female artists I know, do her thing. I just would like to let you know I love all your feedback. I thank you so much. I'm going to see what day we can have them back in October. I know there's so many questions. If you have questions in regards to this Truth Serum, y'all can always inbox them to me. So get your journals in right. Yes. So that way in October, when I bring them back, we can answer and talk in regards to the things that y'all need. And, you know, because we don't know everything. We just trying to do what's needed to be done. I'm just doing what the Holy Ghost tells me to do. So in saying that, I want to thank you all for joining Truth Serum tonight. Don't forget, October is going to be a packed month. First week in October, we got breast cancer/cancer awareness. The second week, we're going to have domestic violence. The third week, we're going to have fitness with a physical trainer and a food guru. The fourth, maybe that's the time. That's Halloween, so maybe I'll bring them back then, so they could chop up all the witches and warlocks and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't forget, if you would like to support this platform, you can hit me on that Cash App, $ Yasmin Campbell. Again, that's $ YASMINCAMPBELL. All those that donate, I want to tell you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It helps. I use it. I don't use it for me. I work. I use it to get better equipment right now. That's why you don't see the big mic and things of that nature, because I'm getting better equipment so I can service you guys better and give you guys, everything that you need. And also, I think I'm taking a month of December off. Possibly taking the whole month of December off, or either it's going to be November. I don't know which one. And the last day, I believe, of October, when we have them, I think I'm going to do a giveaway that day as well. So without further ado, again, if you want to donate, go to my Cash App, $ Yasmin Campbell. If you haven't got the book, www.peculiarnationent.com. Now what we're going to do, thank you so much, Mama Peyton. That's Apostle Peyton, y'all. Anyway, we're going to move. I'm going to move myself. I'm going to leave Dawn in here. And if everybody that's on this live, while she's singing, this is a time where, hold on, let me fix this because I need them to hear me. You guys don't go nowhere, Dawn. Okay? Don't go nowhere. Regina, don't go nowhere. At this time, guys, I would love for you guys to send up your hearts, send up your likes, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to the moment of peace for Breonna Taylor, the lady who was killed by the police in her bed, and the police just got off. We didn't get justice for Breonna, but the walls next door got justice. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. It's nothing new under the sun, and we just trying to do our part, okay? So now we're going to have Dawn Lisa share during this moment of peace, not silence, but peace, because that's what we need. And you guys can just go ahead and just give us them hearts. Regina, don't go nowhere. I'm going to mute you, but just.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. We can't go to the movies, and we can't go downtown, 'cause we're afraid of being shot up just because our skin is brown. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. So I'm not going in cycles. I'm tired of going in cycles. I'm tired of going in cycles. I'm tired of going in cycles. I refuse to go in cycles. going in cycles. We're tired of going in cycles. I'm so tired of broken cycles. I'm so tired of broken cycles. So heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. See, there are people dying. If we care enough for the living, make it a better place for you and for me.
Well, that was our moment of peace for Brianna. Excuse me. It was, Dawn was just, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you. Now I'm trying to talk afterwards. Look, I can't even talk afterwards. Come on now. Cycles. Oh my shot. Come on. But that was our I'm sorry. It's Travis, y'all. So it's not Travis, stop. Unless you're gonna come and say hi to the people. Stop, please. Okay. So you guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight to True Serum. It's my sister's keeper. Again, I will try to come back with the part 2. That was our Breonna Taylor moment of peace. Don Lisa, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for singing. Thank you for putting us in that place of peace. Thank you for being on the panel. You know, I know you're not a very talkative person. I did know that from the beginning. That's why when God said you, I was like, what? I'm serious, because I know how you are. You go to say something, sometimes you pull back. You don't, you're mindful of when you're talking and who you're talking to and things of that nature. But I thank you and I honor you, and I give God glory for, you accepting, what I'm saying, the invitation. Regina, that's my homie, y'all. That's one of my intercessors right there who assists me. You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm not saying I'm this big old grand thing. I'm not saying all of that. I'm not boasting, but she is one that prays for me, intercedes for me. And I love her to death. I love her realness. I love her show, Surviving of Broken Pieces, where I will be featured on that show coming up real soon. And I know she's going to put me on the spot for that show. And so I want to thank you, Regina, for accepting the invitation, even with the flyer, even with the boobies. Nah, I want to thank you for accepting the invitation. I want to thank you for keeping it real. I want to thank you for helping me help others. You understand what I'm saying? Our job is to be each other's keeper, and I thank you both, because if I need either one of you, you guys are there for me, and I appreciate you guys, and I love you. To everyone watching, I want to thank you all again for watching True Serum. I thank you for your support. I ask that you like and share this video so as many women as possible can watch. And then last but not least, I would like to thank my husband for letting me be me. You understand? With no strings attached. I don't have to be no one else. I'm just raw, uncut Yasmin Denise, and he loves me that way, and I thank him for that. Again, go ahead and say hi. You right here. Say hi. Say good night. This is the end. Like, see, people, this is real. This is true. So say hi, please.
Hi, please.
Oh my God. Hey, Travis.
Thank you. Say hi. Come on, Travis.
Who is that?
We are live, dude.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Hey, my sisters, keepers, True Serum. Hey, my ladies and all my babies.
Y'all forgive me for that.
Out of control.
Well, thank you all. I will see you next Saturday. Remember, the flyer is going up earlier this week. Make sure y'all share that breast cancer awareness, because we do have a bag with the breast cancer logo on it, and we have tumblers. 2 bags and 2 tumblers that we're giving away. We're trying to sew, and we're trying to help. That's my goal. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to have 2 to 3 women up here who's going to explain what they go through, what they went through, how they survived. And, you know, some are still going through chemo right now. So I would like for all of you guys to make sure you join in next week in Saturday, same time. Again, if you want to support this platform, you know what to do. It's ticking down at the bottom. I love you all. Thank you. And you all have a great night.